Celtics fans, look away. Sorry, Marcus Smart donning the purple and gold for the first time yesterday. Here he is addressing the media for the first time.
When you get a guy like Luka calling, referencing, checking on you, trying to see where you at to see, and that if you want to come and, join something special that he's trying to cook up over here, and for him to say that, to see that he can really use my help, that meant a lot. Played against Luka a lot. Been on a lot of opposing ends of, Luka magic, and to be able to come out and be on his side at this time means a lot. It first came, my agent, I'm working out, and I get a call from my agent saying, hey, Luka's reached out. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, all right. And then another day, same thing, Luka reached out again. And now it's real, it's no longer what ifs. It's real, and it's something we need to talk about. And that was a great feeling, like I said, and that's kind of what got the things going for me to be here, and I'm excited to be here.
So there he is, Marcus Smart. George Sedano in for Malika Andrews today alongside Dave McMiniman, David Dennis Jr., and NBA champ, our guy, Kendrick Perkins. So, Dave, you shot that video that we just saw. Luka playing a pretty big role as a recruiter in the Marcus Smart situation. New look for him. So what does that tell you?
Well, first of all, let's talk about the guy he's talking about, Luka Doncic. There was ownership by Luka of this offseason to stamp down that he wants to be part of the Lakers moving forward, and he wants others to join him. So he makes calls to DeAndre Ayton, the guy who came into the draft with him as the #1 pick. Now he's the center for the Lakers. Makes calls to Marcus Smart. Needs to fill the point of attack defender spot that Dorian Finney-Smith occupied last year. He now plays for the Houston Rockets. Gets Marcus Smart to come. And I think as we look forward, we look at that August 2nd date when the Lakers can offer an extension to Luka Doncic worth 4 years, $222 million, up to that figure. And I would say, if you're a Laker fan, you shouldn't have any worry about Luka coming to some sort of an extension or agreement with the Lakers, which means he won't just be a Laker for next season, won't just be a Laker for the season after that. I think at a minimum, we're talking about a 3-year extension.
Perk?
Look, this has accountability and disrespect all over it. And Luka took it right into the offseason. And I know it's early, y'all. I know it's early, and I know it's early for hot takes. But damn it, I'm going out on the limb early in this summertime. And I'm going to say, I'm betting on Luka Doncic to win the MVP next season. This is the type of commitment that I want to see from a great player like Luka. I want to see the videos of him working out. I want to see that he's taking accountability for his losing weight and getting in shape. I want to see him being committed to the organization and to his franchise and to his head coach by reaching out and getting players around him. You talk about getting DeAndre Ayton, they got him, right, a center that he needed. They also went and got a guy, Marcus Smart, who they haven't had a primary defender like that on the wing since Alex Caruso. And now all of a sudden Luka is saying, I'm ready for this season. I took the disrespect from last season with the Mavs trading me. I'm holding myself accountable. And all the greats in the history of greats have went through some type of adversity or went through some type of thing throughout their career where they had to have an accountability part, and we're seeing that through Luka right now.
I'm sorry. Let me rewind a little bit. I just do not totally like the way we've been talking about Luka Doncic in this offseason. You're coming off of one of your worst seasons, not just, performance, but it's like in terms of the expectation, in terms of the injury. The Mavericks moved you out to Los Angeles, and then you got embarrassed in the first round of the playoffs. And we're supposed to be talking about this guy who needs to be an MVP type of dude, and we're celebrating the fact that he looks like he's in shape. Like, that should be a bar, should be way higher than that for somebody of Luka Doncic's caliber of performance right now. You have to be one of the top 3 best players in the league for the Lakers to have a shot not to be bounced in the first round. And I want to hear more than you look like you're in shape on Instagram. By the way, a lot of people who are in shape are still bad at defense. Being in shape doesn't stop you from falling asleep on back screens or being left on the island come playoff time. You have to clear way more hurdles than looking good in the shirt on Instagram. program. I need to see the Luka Doncic that is in that conversation with Jokic, with Giannis, with those guys like he was before last year, because all this workout video is not moving the needle for me in the way that makes me believe that you're creating an actual contender with the Los Angeles Lakers.
Well, David, did you keep the same energy with Nikola Jokic? Because Nikola Jokic had to go through a stage of his career where he had to get in shape before he had to lose weight and get in shape before he hit a stage to go win a championship. Giannis Antetokounmpo had to put on 50 pounds and work on his body before he went and got to the mountaintop. Steph Curry had to go bust his ass and put on weight and size before he got to the mountaintop. All the greats that have accomplished a goal had to reach some type of adversity. Hell, LeBron James had to leave Cleveland and go to Miami to learn the recipe and to learn how to learn to reach the mountaintop. Michael Jordan, he took his bumps and bruises against the bad boy Pistons in the Celtics and had to get in the weight room before he reached the mountaintop. This is nothing new. Like, guys hit this as young players that hit the ground running when they come into the league. They hit their head on the wall every now and then all of a sudden they have to bounce back.
Go ahead. Let Dave jump in.
Yeah, it's one thing to hit your head to get. Yeah, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead,
David. One thing to hit your head against the Pistons, to hit your head on trying to bulk up. It's another thing about hitting your head against, looking like you are in shape. We're talking about Jokic. I watched Jokic play a 3 overtime game in the playoffs. I watched Jokic go full 48 and not worried about if he's going to tire out. He's gone 7 games and done and pushed teams to that limit. These are not things that I worry about. When we're talking about LeBron's, Curry's, Giannis's, people like that, I do not worry about if they're in shape at the beginning of the season. I don't need to be worrying about somebody like Luka Doncic.
David, I agree with you. Defensively, he's need to show the commitment. But think about being in shape. He's been a pro basketball player since he's 15 years old. Last year, he missed 7 weeks with the calf injury. It's the longest he hadn't played basketball in 10-plus years as a pro. So his body fell out of shape. The important thing is he's responded to it, worked on his diet, worked on his off-season conditioning, and you should get a better version of him. You have to allow for him dealing with an injury that no other guy, that he's never dealt with before.
You know what, David? You're also missing this. And it's been a couple years since we had this with Perk. His favorite mocktail is that skinny Luka. And we're getting it this summer. He's going to be drinking a lot of skinny Luka mocktails. Big Perk is going to have those ready. All right, with Marcus Smart now in the lineup, the Lakers get some much-needed depth. So, Perk, I hear something caught your eye.
I'm Kendrick Perkins, better known as Big Perk, and nothing gets past me. Freeze! Just when you thought it did get past me, there I am. I spy a problem. I spy it all. Carry the hell on. And I do. And we have this term in my neighborhood. That game recognized game. And Luka recognized game because he's played against Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart and him has battled a lot through his young career. And he knows what it feels like to battle a former defensive player of the year. This is Luka's spot against anybody else in the NBA. I want you to look, this low post area right here. Look at Marcus Smart being able to take the contact, being able to hold his ground without fouling and make Luka take a tough contested shot. Here you go again. Marcus Smart being the pest that he is, making Luka uncomfortable, forcing him to a tough contested 2-point shot. Luka saying, I know what this guy's gonna bring. I know the tenacity that he has. In Marcus Smart, in Luka's career, against Marcus Smart, he has shot 29.7% when Marcus Smart is the closest defender. Again, game recognized game. It's a reason Luka hopped his ass on that telephone to call Marcus Smart, because he know what he's going to bring to the table.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that. I think Marcus Smart is excited. But, Dave, you kind of alluded to it earlier. How much of an impact can Smart have? Considering, look, he hasn't played 60-plus games in 3 seasons.
Which is a great point to point out, George. But obviously he wasn't in the best situations in Memphis because of the injuries they suffered as a total team. And in Washington. I don't even want to call them Washington. He was with the Washington Wizards. You can't use the
no
W.
Yeah.
They weren't trying to win. So he was so excited to be in the Lakers facility yesterday. It was like he got a new lease on life. He's back in a winning situation. Yeah, he's on the other side of the Celtics-Lakers rivalry, of course, but he recognizes that both those franchises play to win perennially. And I think just that kind of effervescent attitude will do a lot for this group. He looks at it like, we got a chance. I asked him, the West is stacked.
Yeah.
And he said, well, I would stack us up against anybody else in the West. We have no ceiling. That, to me, that energy, that confidence will do a lot. Getting this ball rolling in the right direction from day one of training camp.
Yeah, listen, I had Marcus Smart on the radio show on 710 ESPN here in L.A., and I asked him about that Wizards situation specifically. Izzards, sorry. He talked about the finger being a real issue, obviously, but I asked him, look, sometimes these teams in their situation, they want to play the young guys and make sure that those guys get some run. And he kind of laughed a little and says, yeah, you know, it's a different circumstance when you're playing on a team like that. So anyway, all right, Marcus